going on, everybody? As you can tell from the intro, we got some UV1Ks. This is a Hunt Hard Outdoor channel. If you're looking for gear topics, anything to help you get into the field and kind of alleviate some of the confusion out there when it comes to getting into hunting, getting into backpacking, anything outdoors, I'm going to try to help you through that process. Today's going to be a little bit more technical. There is a video, it's one of my first videos that actually explains some of the stuff I'm going to talk about, and I'm still going to kind of explain some of those things. That way, new viewers, you don't have to go back. You may just have a little bit of time to actually look over all this stuff or watch this video. And so I kind of will run through it. If you want more information, try to go back to that first video. It's called VAP TKO, RIP TKO, and RIP XV. So let's dive into it. Today we're going to be talking about, obviously, the UV1K arrow, most expensive arrow on the market, coming in at $220 for half a dozen. So that's 6. It does come fletched. It comes with this really nice case. I mean, this case, like, it's magnetic, it's beautiful. I mean, just super nice. Very impressed with the packaging. Of course, for what you pay, I would think that you would get something like that. I'm really glad that they paid attention and actually gave the customer something that looks good. Now, the main deals, like a comparative arrow would be like this RIP TKO and then a VAP TKO. VAP TKO is going to be your 4mm option. The RIP TKO is going to be your 5mm option with Victory. Reason I'm using Victory is Victory is the one who made the Ultra View arrow, the UV1K. Now, the 1K stands for 1K weave. 1K weave meaning the actual woven part of the carbon is a lot wider. And let's see if I can get this up on the screen so you guys can see it. May not. Okay, so yeah, you can get a good view there. As you can see, the left is the UV1K and the right is going to be your RIP TKO, VAP TKO, a 3K weave. To my knowledge, from research I've done, there's only 2 companies out there that even have a 1K weave, one being Mamba Archery and the other being Victory Arrows. So Victory Archery and Ultra View got together and made a phenomenal arrow. I've had about a week to shoot these things. I've shot them. I mean, everything. They're quiet. I was thoroughly impressed with the size of the vane and just the overall look of the vane, how great they were. Now, on the UV1K, I'm gonna pretty much use the RIP TKO to compare it to, because I think the RIP TKO is probably one of the most popular options that's going to be the closest to it. So, mind you, this is a 5mm arrow for the RIP TKO. This is going to be a 4.5mm. Nobody else has a 4.5mm. Now, with that comes some caveats as well. So with your RIP TKO, I got it all written down here. You're going to have an 8.8 GPI. GPI meaning for every inch of your arrow, grains per inch, for every inch of an arrow shaft, you're going to have 8.8 grains. Now, for some of the longer draw length guys, I'm currently at 28.5, but for like the 30 plus guys, 29.5 inch draw lengths, they kind of really look at these RIP TKOs because of that GPI. Especially if you're trying to find like a specific grain weight, total shaft weight. Now with the RIP TKO, if you buy it in a half a dozen, they will come with Victory vanes, or for the most part, it will come with an IP5 knock, and then it will come with a 50 grain half out shock half out. So this is all proprietarily from Victory, besides the tip, of course. That's just a field tip on there. This one comes spine aligned, so does the 1K. Now with the 8.8, I'm running 100 grain field tip at 28.5 inches of just shaft length, not including the outsert. So when I say outsert, like this half out right here, this is not included in overall length. And we'll get into cutting arrows and all that stuff in another video, but so it's 28.5 inches, and so is the UV1K, and I measured them, did all that stuff. You're coming in at 428 grains and a 15.32 FOC. FOC meaning front of center. So how much more of the arrow is forward weight so that it'll balance out. And that matters especially to a lot of people. So FOC, I like personally between 13 to 17% FOC, especially 15. So this one came in perfect for me. I love it. I like to be between the 400 or 425, 450 range, give or take 10 less or more on there. But I really do enjoy these shafts. This is actually one of the first shafts that I ever started shooting. It's a great shaft. I've running some Blazers on it, but really, really cool arrow. It shoots really, really well. Now let's get into the UV1K because that's obviously the hot topic. When you get the UV1K, it's going to come fletched, it's going to come wrapped, it's going to come with knocked. It's going to have the knock adapter down here at the end of the shaft, and then so that it can fit the IP4 knock, which is what they use on the Victory VAP TKO, which is their 4mm option. So that's a really nice option. You don't have to go out of your way to figure out, hey, where's a 4.5mm knock? Just throw an IP4 in there and rock it, or any other type of arrow. Both of these arrows are going to be 300 spines, by the way. So all the information that I'm giving you is based off of a 300 spine. Your GPI will raise. It'll get heavier the stiffer the spine you go. So both of these, this is the elite option, and it's a .001 straightness guarantee. These as well, the UV1Ks are going to be a .001. Now this one's going to have an 8.7 GPI, so you're losing about 0.1 grains per inch. Once again, that's 1 inch of your arrow. That's how much it's gonna weigh. This one's gonna come with this 75 grain outsert. It is steel, I believe, and it is very tough. This whole arrow is just, I mean, honestly, for what you get, it's really, really a cool, nice arrow. One really cool thing that I thought about the Ultra Views is that they did a left helical, or so a 2 degree left fletching. So a lot of times, and I explained this in my other ones, when you shoot your bow, it comes out of the bow and it might be turning right, or it might be turning left, or clocking right, clocking left. So if, say, for my bow clocks left. So when it comes out of my bow, it's already turning left. Well, at some point, if you fletch that arrow right, so meaning that the fletchings, rather than being towards the left, they're going right, they're going to fight, it's going to fight it. So at some point, it's going to stall out, and then it's going to have to fight it to turn right. With these, most bows are going to be fletched, or not fletched, but strung, and those strings are going to make that bow clock left. A good way to kind of check that is you can make a little mark on the end of your shaft, shoot it at 3 yards, see which way it turns. Or you can look at your bow strings, and whichever way it is twisted, that's going to be the way that it is going to clock for the most part. This one's also going to come spine aligned. Downfalls of this is obviously the price, but for what you get, it's going to come with your field point, it's going to come with your half out, obviously the shaft fletched with the wrap, with the knock adapter. Now, if you have to repair these, I'm not a real big wrap guy. I'm not gonna lie, these look really, really good. I've never really done wraps, but they do offer a repair kit. Now that repair kit is pricey. I mean, it's $35. You know, you can buy a lot of vanes for $35. But these are proprietary to UV. They're not out on the market. You can't buy them unless you're buying the repair kit. But like I said, super quiet. Super quiet vane, steers it correctly. I mean, this shaft, I was actually thoroughly impressed. When I got them, I was kind of trying to prove the point that, you know, this RIP TKO can do the same thing. And it can. I think it would take a lot more time in tuning your arrow to get the RIP TKO to shoot as well as the UV 1K, but it's doable, especially for the price point. If you're a kind of guy that likes to fletch his own shafts, then probably the RIP TK, that TKO, one of these other options, you know, that's going to be a better option for you. The nice thing about UV is once you order them, you can order them off their website. You can order them off of Elk Shape, the store on Elk Shape. You can order them off of Go Hunt. Really anywhere that you can find a RIP TKO, they're going to have a UV 1K. Like I said, very phenomenal arrow. I'm very impressed with it. I love the looks of it. You can order them straight from their factory or straight from anyone at the desired length that you want, and I'm telling you, they're probably going to shoot exactly the same. That's what they wanted. They wanted something that would be consistent, something that would be user friendly, and I think they really hit the mark with these UV 1Ks. Like I said, for the price tag with 6 arrows, that part, you know, that'll probably deter a lot of people, especially when you can buy half a dozen or a dozen of these RIP TKOs or a VAT TKO for the price of a half a dozen. Now, with those, you are getting some upgrades. Not saying that you can't go out and buy a half out or an outsert or an insert that isn't stainless or titanium from another company, but you are going to get that steel half out versus the aluminum half out. Now, personally, I've never had an issue with an aluminum half out. But you will get steel versus aluminum. You will get the point. You won't get the point with the rips. A dozen rips, you're not going to get any veins or fletchings on there. So that's up to you, which, you know, this is actually the first 2-degree fletching I've ever had with the UV. I really like them. Steers really well. And I don't think that I've got into the weight, but we are at 458 grains and at 16.46, so about 16 and a half FOC. And just shooting the two, I could probably throw 125 grain point on there and get a little bit better results. But the penetration on a bag target with the UV, it was outperforming the RIP. Now, granted, is that really going to matter whenever it comes down there? Yes, it's 25 grains more, but I did get more consistency without even having to work on it. I did spin them, and really, I mean, no matter which way I turned that half out on the UV, it was really, really consistent. There was actually only one arrow that I think was a little bit more consistent, but it comes with caveats as well. But yeah, if y'all are interested in the UV 1K, like I said, you can get them pretty much anywhere. Go Hunt, that's a really cool option. Get their maps; they're amazing maps, and plus you get all the other great deals with them. You can get them off of Podium Archery. You can get them off the Elk Shape store. I mean, really anywhere, guys. You can pick up these UV 1Ks. Like I said, if you want to pay the price tag on them, go for it. Like I said, I think they're worth it. They just shot so well and they look so good, very consistent. I mean, weighing them, just the shaft, and then putting the outserts on there. Just really, really, really a consistent setup, and I think it'll be really good for the guys that maybe not have the time to get in there or don't have the time to run over to their archery shop or pro shop and have them cut and do all their different arrows. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I am going to do a shootout between a couple of arrows, but I kind of wanted to explain each arrow that I'm going to, compare to. That way you guys can have an understanding with what they are and what they cost. And so at the end of it, you can go through. I'm also going to throw in what they cost, how I built them. But this video will go more in depth in each arrow versus the shootout is going to be more of a slinging arrows video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, please like. That way we can do this some more. I'm not sponsored by anybody, so no matter what I say about which arrow, and like I said, it's my personal opinion. So your opinion may differ. And if you have a result that you had, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I just love learning, and I hope that we can all learn together with these videos. So until next time, remember, train for the pursuit.